We are in Jordan.
Fresh from my adventure in Jordan. In this video, we'll cover all the essentials from getting in and around the country to must-see attractions and more. If you're planning your visit, join us as we share practical advice to help you make the most of your Jordanian adventure. Stick around till the end to get a glimpse of our 7-day itinerary that includes Petra, Wadi Rum and the Dead Sea. Jordan is a country located in the Middle East, bordered by Syria to the north, Iraq to the northeast, Saudi Arabia to the south, and Israel and the West Bank to the west. Now, before we go further into this video, if you're interested in a particular topic about Jordan travel, comment below and we will make a follow-up video covering all these comments. If you're traveling into Jordan, you'll likely land at Queen Alia International Airport in the capital city of Amman. The airport is very modern and efficient. There is a small airport in the south at Aqaba, but very few international airlines fly here. The best time to visit Jordan is likely the spring months of March to May or the autumn months of September to November. Be wary of traveling during Ramadan season.
So, because we are traveling during Ramadan, the restaurant is not actually open till 5 o'clock.
Outside of the touristy areas, most restaurants were closed and we didn't want to come across as rude eating in front of the locals. Instead, we had to resort to snacks from the convenience stores like these. If you are visiting Jordan for at least 3 nights, you can and should grab a Jordan Pass. The Jordan Pass is a sightseeing package that waives the cost of the visa and includes entry to 40 attractions in Jordan, including Petra. There are 3 cost options based on the number of days you want to spend at Petra. Considering the cost of Petra entry ticket, this saves a bit of money. Jordan uses the Jordanian dinar, which is actually quite steep as it is tied directly to the US dollar. During our visit, 1 Jordanian dinar was $1.4 US or 2.15 Australian dollar. Cards are accepted almost everywhere, including by the Bedouins on our Petra trail walk. But it's handy to have some cash on you. If you're looking to exchange cash, go here.
So the downtown area is probably the best place to exchange currency. At the airport, we have got a rate of 500 Australian dollars to 180 Jordanian dinar, and here we got 230, so almost 50 dinars more.
Make sure to pick up a local SIM card at the airport. There are a few options here, and we went with Orange Mobile, which supposedly has the best connectivity in Jordan. A 20 GB plan costed us 15 dinar and it activated quite fast. Upon touchdown, we were hassled by taxi drivers to get into their cars, so it pays to download an app like Uber or Careem. Both work very well in Jordan and we found rides to be readily available at the airport and in Amman. Based on our itinerary, we realized that renting a car is likely the most flexible option for us. The roads were very well maintained and easy to drive in, at least outside of Amman. There are several car rental agencies at the airport. We paid about 15 dinar per day base price for a small sedan. But just be aware of these things while driving in Jordan.
So we started driving the car and we drove about 1 kilometer before we got the low fuel warning. Seems like here in Jordan, they don't really fill up the car before they rent it out. So something to watch out for.
We are in Cairo. It's only going to take us like 9 hours and 712 kilometers to get there.
Oh wow.
I don't know how many flights I've got so far. Places, it's got like, it changes so quickly, it's hard to tell.
If you want to save some cash, there are local buses that travel the main touristy routes, but the schedule is quite limited. The official language of Jordan is Arabic, but most people understand and speak a little bit of English. It is always nice to learn a few basic words. The people of Jordan are very nice and friendly. Everywhere we went, we were welcomed with a big smile. On our first day, we were waiting for a table at a popular restaurant in Amman, and one of the locals even invited us to sit at their table and share a meal. Talking about meals, Jordan has its own flair of Middle Eastern cuisine. Mansaf is the national dish of Jordan, consisting of lamb cooked in tangy yogurt sauce and served over rice. There were other fragrant rice dishes, and of course the grilled meats were delicious. You're probably going to Jordan for Petra, one of the 7 wonders of the world. Petra is not just the treasury that you see in Instagram. It used to be a flourishing city. It was a crucial junction for the trade between the East and the West. The Nabateans, who were the rulers of Petra, had impressive water engineering skills that gave them a distinct advantage over their neighbors. Equally impressive as Petra are the stunning desert landscapes of Wadi Rum, also known as the Valley of the Moon. Located in the south of Jordan, the unique terrain draws comparison to the surface of Mars, and as a result featuring in numerous films including The Martian. Finally, you cannot go to Jordan without a trip to the Dead Sea, the lowest point on Earth. With a salinity of 34.2%, it allows for effortless floating, and the beaches and the resorts alongside provide options for rejuvenating mud treatments. We had a total of 7 days in Jordan, and this is what we did. All the hotels we stayed at during the tour are linked in the description below. On our first day, we explored the highlights of Amman, including the citadel, the Roman amphitheater, and the Blue Mosque. In the afternoon, we joined a walking tour where our guide shared the history of Amman and Jordan. We then strolled to the central market, sampling spices and sweets. For dinner, we went to the famous Hashim's restaurant and then did some souvenir shopping in downtown.
Ready to drive our car? That's right. No steering on this side.
The next day, we picked our rental car and headed down the desert highway to Wadi Rum, a 5-hour drive including stops. In Wadi Rum, we took a 4-wheel drive tour of the desert, seeing famous movie locations from The Martian and Lawrence of Arabia. The tour ended with a stunning sunset over the desert. That night, we stayed in this unique Martian bubble tent. The stay included a Bedouin-style buffet dinner consisting of marinated meat and vegetables cooked in the ground. Waking up to the beautiful sunrise over the desert was the highlight of day 3. The bubble tents were actually reasonably priced and one of the most unique accommodations we've ever stayed in. We enjoyed a cup of tea amidst this backdrop before reluctantly leaving and driving to Petra in the town of Wadi Musa.
We just saw this train as we were driving towards Petra, so we had to stop by.
We arrived just after lunch, and so we didn't want to activate our 2-day pass yet. Instead, we visited the Free Petra Museum to learn more about the history of this ancient civilization.
That's my mom's restaurant, and over there is my dad's supermarket.
The town was eerily quiet during our stay, and restaurants were also empty.
We just came to get some dinner. Oh my god, it's so quiet here. Like it's almost so creepy. There's nobody else on the street except us.
Day 4 was all about hiking, as we took on the 8-kilometer backdoor trail of Petra. We took the first bus to Little Petra, and then a 4-wheel drive to the trailhead. The path was hilly but well marked. We saw the impressive monastery, the iconic treasury, and walked through the Sig before the heat and the crowds.
Finish off this walk.
That evening, we attended the Petra at Night experience, which unfortunately was underwhelming and not worth it.
The lights were cool, but the actual show that went with it was very flat. For 17 Jordanian dinars, I think you can save your money and do something much better. Day 5 here in Jordan. We've woken up at 5 a.m. so we can get to the main gate by 6.
On the 5th day, we jogged to the treasury at 6 a.m. to see it one more time at the sunrise. And we beat the crowds too. Then we drove 3 hours to the Dead Sea, navigating the windy Jordan Valley Highway with its stunning views despite some GPS issues. We passed the Wadi Mujib canyons, but they were closed. At the Dead Sea, we checked into a resort and spent this evening floating in the water.
So welcome to day 6, our last full day in Jordan.
Day 6 was packed as we aimed to cover Jerash, Ajloun and the baptism site. The 2-hour drive to Jerash was challenging as we navigated the traffic on the outskirts of Amman.
That was a bit of a madness driving here, but I'm glad we reached Jerash finally.
We spent 2 hours exploring the theaters, plazas and the temples of Jerash. From there, it was a 45-minute drive to Ajloun, where we visited the imposing Ajloun castle and the adjacent roadway. On a clear day, one can enjoy the views to the Golden Heights from here. On our way back to the Dead Sea, we tried to visit the baptist site of Jesus on the Jordan River, but it had closed early for Ramadan. So instead, we went back for one more round of floating on the Dead Sea. Finally, on our last day, we drove up to Mount Nebo for the panoramic view of the area. We tried to visit the Baptist site again, but realized the tour runs on a schedule and would take 1 hour, which we hadn't planned for.
So we're just finishing up our Jordan trip.
And that was the wrap of our trip as we went to the airport, returned our car, and caught our flight to Egypt.
Bye bye car.
Overall, Jordan was a unique travel destination and one to be considered in your bucket list. Hopefully this video gives you an intro to the country and some ideas for planning your trip. If you want more information on a particular topic, comment below and we will make a follow-up video including those topics.